Amore! Heartbreak.
Someone's got to explain what happened to me. Tokyo ESP's animation and sound effects. What the fuck was that? That was a disaster. That's what it was. What happened? It looked like they had like a $5 budget. Like half the time the music was either overpowering the sound effects or there were just no sound effects at all. Like she hits a wall. Like that's the sound effect. Or she hits a Ozmo. That's the sound effect. It doesn't make any sense. There's so many. Like, what the fuck happened? What really happened? I don't want to get too far into it. I did like the music. I will say this. I do love this OST. I'm just saying, what happened to the budget? The first episode looked gorgeous. It was great. And then from there on, it was just like, let's go ahead and on ourselves. Because what happened to the rest of the budget? What in God's name did it go? It hasn't looked that great since episode 1. But episode 1 is kind of hard to surpass. But from another standpoint, you guys know what I'm talking about, but just from like another animation standpoint, don't without comparing any of the rest of this series to episode 1, it still has gone down. It is not every episode, but once I saw the vase last episode, I was like, this is not a good sign. And it's not, because this animation needs a lot of work. Now, that was like the first half. The second half, it looked a little better. Not by that much, because the glass first looked like, how should I say this? Like plastic. Then it landed on a car, and it looked like just random sparkles everywhere. So they still have a lot to prove and fix. But pretty much, that's my only complaint with the episode. Those are my only complaints with the episode. So, we did figure out some different stuff, this episode. One of the things is that Minami's actually get some character development, which is cool because she's gotten character development before, but they're actually starting to reveal stuff. And I think this is because, well, they don't really have a lot of episodes left. I think they only have like 4 or something like that. I thought this was episode 8. I'm not sure. I think it is, but maybe I'm just acting stupid because that's how Sudi roll. Yep, no, it's episode 9. There you go. But going back to Minami and her character development, I did like how they did explain some stuff. It is tragic that her mom died, but we didn't really figure out the reason for why her mom died. Because, in a sense, this kind of feels like Sazabom and Aldanoa Zero. How he's kind of just doing this for, for his wife's death, and that's kind of it. But they don't explain how the wife died, and that doesn't really explain why they're trying to rebuild the world. So the fact that they're trying to rebuild a world where we don't know why his wife died, in my opinion, is just superfluous. It's not needed. But that's, it's probably going to be explained some other episode. Probably next episode, episode 11 or episode 12. If it takes to episode 12, that's going to be kind of itchy, but sketchy, you know what I mean. But I could say that they're probably going to work this kink out. Now, Rinka loses her Esper powers in this episode, and the fish, like the Esper fish, flies out of her even though she wasn't necessarily dead, but she died for a couple of seconds, so I'm wondering, does like an Esper leaving you, does that bring you back to life? Because apparently your heart stopped for a second, but as far as I know, your heart doesn't for a second and then just go, hey, I'm back. So, I mean, there's got to be something behind that. Maybe that does happen. But as far as I know, it doesn't. So, my question is, what does the fish... Does the fish leaving actually have an impact? Does it actually, bring you back to life? Because she was only dead for a couple of seconds, but when she woke up, her white hair was gone. But that was actually before she woke up, actually. So I wonder, what... does the fish actually leaving save you in an instance? That would make, the show open for some tragic endings. Now, I'm wondering about Ozma, because Ozma got put on an island. But the question is, why was Minami able to get on the island, but Ozma wasn't? Does that mean that Minami teleported into an illusion of the professor, and that the guy is stuck, Ozma is stuck on an island? But that's weird because the thing is, the panda bear, Master Roshi, wasn't able to find out where Ozma was. So I don't think it could be an illusion, or else he would have been able to figure out at least like the general location of where he is. But he couldn't. So that's making me wonder what's the whole reasoning behind that? The thing is that this episode left a lot of stuff open to be explained that I don't think a lot of people will necessarily see, but I feel as if bringing it up before it actually happens may actually be a smart thing. So, I think all that is it, other than the Espers and how they just mercilessly murdered the humans, even though it kind of wasn't worth it. They really didn't have a reason to kill the humans. I don't personally see the reason why, other than just to wreak havoc and just bring the white girl out of her disguise, which is Rinka. But I think that's the only reason they would do it. Even then, I feel as if they could have targeted somewhere else other than the school. There is one more thing: deaths. There were supposedly a lot of deaths. I hope those won't what you counted as deaths, because I felt absolutely no emotional tie to anybody that died. Because Master Roshi was an okay character, but he really only had one, episode where he showed that character, that perverted character. Ringa's dad is cool, but losing him is not going to be like, oh my gosh, that's tragic, or it's not going to be like, oh man, I miss him so much. They're just kind of there, and if they die and that's the way they died, that's a really bad way to kill somebody off, because that left no emotion on anybody. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.